Tyler, the creator, just killed his personas, and it was clear. No warning, no fade out. He just released Don't Tap the Glass and slammed the door on the alter egos that shaped his career and fanbase as we know it. The question is, did he change or did he erase everything that made him Tyler, the creator? Today, we put Tyler's transformation on trial. To understand what happened, you need to understand what's been lost. The start of it all, back in 2011, Goblin. That album wasn't edgy, it was twisted, it was loud, it was ugly and in your face on purpose. He made songs like Yonkers, She, Goblin, Transylvania. These songs weren't made for radio, they were made to piss people off. He rapped through a dark, violent alter ego, and his lyrics felt like a horror movie villain than a traditional rapper. Lyrics like kill people, burn shit, fuck school, songs like Tron Cat, so much violence. Thing is, it's weirdly worked. Why? Because it felt real. It was the beginning of Tyler, the creator. Then in 2015, he dropped Cherry Bomb. And if Goblin was about pushing boundaries with lyrics, Cherry Bomb was Tyler shedding the rulebook on sound. The album was messy, distorted, and loud, sometimes to the point where you could barely hear the vocals. Songs and sounds clashed like a car crash in the best and worst way. Some fans loved it, others thought, what even is this? But Tyler nonetheless owned it. He said the backlash helped him grow. This wasn't made for playlists, it was exactly what Tyler wanted it to be. His own authentic album. And then Flower Boy in 2017 dropped. This time, Tyler showed us something we hadn't seen before. Emotional honesty. For the first time, he talked about loneliness, identity, and maybe his queerness. This Tyler wasn't a character like in Goblin. He was crafting a beautiful sound, dreamy soundscapes, vulnerable lyrics. For many fans, this was Tyler's peak. It was personal, poetic, and uniquely him. So what changed? Well, every album after Flower Boy was still Tyler. It was the Tyler he was growing into, and still authentic to the sound he lived by. He was authentic there. There isn't any other Tyler as authentic as the Tyler, the creator's sound. With lyrics that changed rap, it's a different area of hip-hop, a different evolution in it, which he illustrated. But now, he dropped Don't Tap the Glass, where there's no Goblin character narration or different sounding instrumentals. We get Tyler stripped down, fit together. Production-wise, it's a very basic sound with grounded lyrics, little arrangements. There is maturity, there's clarity, there's also absence. The characters are done. The aesthetic of Tyler, gone. The colors, gone. And that's what makes this trial so interesting, because in killing off these personas, Tyler may have found artistic peace, but some fans feel like he's buried the music they fell in love with. The defense says this is evolution. The prosecution calls it murder. And we will get into it. You see, Tyler's defense argues that Don't Tap the Glass is an evolution, a cleansing of personas in favor of clarity and musical freedom. First, the album is tight, high energy, dance record. Under 30 minutes, it brings back Tyler to his playful, melodic roots. The whole album is simple. It encompasses funk, Miami bass, synth funk, and hip-hop house influences. Grounded in his own production, critics call it a designer pop built for body-first listening, not deep introspection. Second, Tyler frames it as a celebration of movement and emotional liberation. He intentionally stripped away his old grand alter egos to focus on pure, honest expression, like dancing joy and reclaiming privacy from the era of phone surveillance. It means Tyler wants people to stop overanalyzing everything and just enjoy the music without worrying about being watched, filmed, or judged. He's saying, Stop performing for the internet, just vibe. This album exists so you can move, not dissect it online. Third, fans and critics praised the album as his most replayable, catchy, and fun record in years. Reviews highlight its bouncy and nostalgic feels, like throwback vibes. The album is a fresh feel. Some even think it hits harder, energy-wise, than Chromacopia. Finally, Tyler doesn't need the theatrical personas anymore. He's fully embracing his artistry and doesn't need performative characters. He has embraced his artistry without those performances or those characters. His minimal visuals and solo-heavy approach showcase his maturity and agency in music. To summarize, Tyler has altered his style, yes, but he also gave us a purposeful, built album of fun, rhythm, and liberation. This is not a loss, it's just growth, it's just rebirth. Now for the prosecution. Tyler didn't evolve, he erased. First, critics argue that Don't Tap the Glass lacks the emotional depth of his previous work. Unlike Chromacopia, where Tyler talked about aging, identity, and existential anxiety, or his past work with deeper themes and darker tones that explore different parts of Tyler while still being authentic. It basically means the new album is mostly flexing, has a nothing really matters attitude, and doesn't get very deep or personal. Second, some listeners say the album feels undercooked, disjointed. On Reddit, the reaction was mixed, but a lot of fans felt let down. Common complaints were that the album was too loud, it lacked depth, and didn't feel like Tyler's usual work. Many described it as unfocused or just average by his own bar. Third, by stripping away his iconic personas such as the Darkness or Horror Scope in Dublin, or Cherry Bomb's Chaos, Flower Boy's Vulnerability, and all of the countless albums made by Tyler with a story or meaning, with his sound made and imprinted on the albums, Tyler risks losing his uniqueness. Those personas defined his sound. Those lyrics, those beats, those characters. Without them, he's just another producer making dance music. Critics say it feels like he's burned down the house just to build a routine block party. Finally, the album's lighter tone might undercut his identity or the identity we know him as. The boundary define artist. Instead of surprises or risk, we get straightforward music. Even reviewers show and express their want for Tyler's layered storytelling and alter ego music. To summarize, this wasn't evolution, it was a drop to comfort. In killing his personas, Tyler may have killed what made him special, his authenticity. Now it's time to review and give your verdict. On the defense side, Don't Tap the Glass, short, super tight, and made to get you moving. It's not deep or emotional, it's just fun, bouncy, and loud on purpose. Feels like Tyler just wanted people to vibe without overthinking it. The whole Don't Tap the Glass thing is basically him saying stop performing for the internet and just enjoy the moment. Pitchfork calls it a brisk, single-minded, and snappy dance floor romp, built more for body movement than emotional rumination. Vulture calls it a metaphorical rejection of modern self-consciousness. Don't Tap the Glass means don't worry about being filmed, just move. Inspired by a no-phones listening party he hosted where fans danced freely. On the prosecution side, Simply says that on the flip side, a lot of people feel like the album's missing the emotional weight Tyler used to bring. Instead of the deep soul-searching stuff from Chromacopia and other albums, it's mostly flexing and surface level. Some fans called it mid, said the lyrics felt lazy and that it doesn't stick like his older work. Despite the fun, Many listeners state the emotional depth and conceptual weight that defined his old work feel absent. The Guard notes that Tyler trades soul-searching for mostly flexing and a nothing really matters attitude, and doesn't get very deep or personal, weakening the emotional depth he's built on. So the case is clear. The defense argument is this is Tyler removing his old personas to reclaim artistic authenticity and to focus on pure joy, movement, and liberation in his music. The prosecution argument says in doing so, he sacrificed his depth, his character, and legacy, losing the layers that made Tyler so iconic. Now it's your turn. Did Tyler kill his personas to evolve, or did he just erase what made him special? Thanks for joining this rap jury trial. Whether you believe it was reinvention or disappearance, one thing's clear. Tyler made us all move this time.